Hello, everyone. We shall now begin. Okay, let's see. So today on today's roster, we have some components to make. I have two lists in front of me here. One for inputs and one for outputs. We're going to be starting with the inputs. Throttle variants, levers 1, 2, and 4. Gear levers, manual and automatic. Push buttons, flip switches, pilot seats, driver seat, rotary switches, keyboards, and that should be it for inputs. So first thing I'm gonna start with is an automotive, or not automotive, sorry, the throttles. And these are not going to be full blocks. How that's gonna work instead is they will be placed on top of a face, so like you place them on the sides of faces, basically. Yeah, it will allow people to have much more compact and nicer cockpits and stuff like that. Well, I'm gonna be modeling a lot of buttons that just look different but do the same thing. So the first versions will be free, so no worries there. I hope it doesn't cost a lot more than SW. So we're not sure about pricing, but probably the first versions will be cheaper than the subsequent versions. Though I do think at first it will. Oops, why is that not? It will be cheaper than Stormworks. Probably $15 Canadian if I had to hazard a guess as to what we're gonna choose for the first price. But it's gonna be a lot more feature complete, that's for sure, for the same amount of money. By the way, JK Luyo asks, by the way, we have like switches that you, wow, I butchered that. By the way, will we have the switches that you rotate and flip switches like in real life, for example? Yes, we will. That's actually on the list. Dial switches and stuff like that. That will be something that you can put in your cockpit. Prototype. And unlike Stormworks, for example, we'll actually be using textures. So the blocks in the game are going to be a lot more performance friendly, and also that lets us do a lot more complex lighting for dials and stuff. Yeah. One of the major issues of games like this is you build creations and you have like a soft limit just because the more complex you make them, the more it lags. I'm not saying we're not going to have that problem because that would be a little bit stupid to say, but I'm hoping that we won't have that. It won't be such a big problem as other games. Like, we'll be one of those games where it's a little bit manageable at least, if that makes sense. Because we have plans of like hacks and stuff to get it to be a little bit manageable. Yeah, components, basically. All things components. Actually, no, line this to the grid a little bit better. Call this breath. There you go. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to slip when you're trying to control the throttle of your vehicle, you know? There. I have to move the rotation point a little bit down, but that would be done in code. Actually, I'm especially doing Mach 13. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if you'll be able to go Mach 13 easily, but I'm sure you'll be able to go Mach 1 or 2 with some effort. Mach 9 million. One thing that's gonna set us apart from other games is the control methods are going to be a lot more complex. What I mean by that is this is a throttle lever, right? This will output one number, but I am just about to create another throttle. Oh wow, okay, I can't actually name these the same, even though they're in different collections. One moment. Name these. So this type 2 one is actually going to have two levers on it, and this will output two numbers. And then you'll be able to, let's say, connect this to a seat, and then you'll be able to use these input. Well, first of all, you'll be able to use it if you just look at it and grab them and move them, or you can connect it to a seat, so you can use the inputs directly, and then you can use them as throttles to the same block, but controlling, let's say, two things. Or if you have a aircraft, you can have one throttle for the engine throttle and the other one for the propeller pitch. Script sauce. Will there be full controller support? Unlike Stormworks that has half-ass support. That we haven't talked about that, but I don't see why not. I'd have to talk to Wes to get a definite answer, but I don't see why not. JK Luyo asks, you could make like a, oh, it's not a question, a statement. Well, it's the same thing. You can make like a button input or a keybind that switches it to individual throttles, and by default, they are connected. Oh yeah, where you can move all the throttles at once, and then you have to press a button to, yeah. Knowing West, that's probably what's going to end up happening, because I know he really wants this game to like it's really like in depth with everything. Let me just quickly look at something. Doing that without using 63 million microcontrollers. Eurofighter Typhoon incoming. Hell yeah. I can't wait to see like all of the vehicles people are gonna come up with. Like just in the first version. Well, imagine in like a couple of years time, 2 or 3 years, all of the vehicles people will end up making. And all of the mods too that'll exist. Eurofighter Typhoon. I mean, hey, we're gonna be. Well, I guess I'm gonna be the closest thing to a community manager for this game, and I'll be doing like vehicle competitions, basically every week. Every week or so, we'll see. Nothing's set in stone, but like the best creations made by the community, kind of a thing. Watching over. Also, so anything to add to the sync is like a little run between them. I mean, I don't have that system really, so I need to build a picture of that. Because I've never seen actual throttles like this. Does it have any turn switch up? What's your pleasure, TM? Okay, let me check out that 50 seconds. Yeah, have to sync up or just sync up automatically. You just got a button and just do it automatically. Let's see. Great. Yeah, it was a little much here. So, it's not like it's a, I'm thinking now though, for this lever, I'm probably gonna make it look like those, like a 747 lever. Okay, let's see. Cursor selected. Oh, completely forgot the screencast keys. There we go. Whoops. By the way, will there also be a throttle similar to this? Check that link. They're two different sized throttles. That's weird. But what do you mean similar to it? Because I just made a throttle with two throttles on it. So like what's your exact question, I guess? For now probably not, because now we're focusing more on like functionality, but probably in the future when we're just adding like quality of life things, we'll probably just add things that look cool. Different styles and stuff like that. Turamar quality of life update. Yeah, or like the decor objects update or something like that. You know, something that'll catch people's eye. Make those juicy people currently playing numbers skyrocket for a little bit. We need cool. You know, honestly, I'm not sure who's gonna be in charge of like doing the announcements. It might be me, because West has said that he's not really good at those like community things. But if it's up to me, then y'all better expect some funny updates because I'm that kind of person. Points are looking. Oh boy. I think it's flying fish. You found like a little flying fish. Here we go, flying fish. The anti-fire team method, yeah. Was there a point? Where like people who have the games fish? I remember something like that. Okay, wow, okay. I think it's it. It's never had that problem. Well, let's check out my files there. Let's try that problem. That is very true. I only have my workshop, my workstation, sorry, modified. Yeah. It probably checks to see how some of the files are like, probably some reconcile somewhere. And it sees the two differences I have over. Which I mean, I guess like, no, it's entirely bad. But bad is one of the terms at this point. So like I own the game, just playing out there, actually own the game. Like I love pirates to see the anti-pirate features. And I love how they actually like took the time to put in like a anti-piracy feature. They didn't put the time to like make sure their game actually worked properly most of the time. Script sauce, like we have like 63 billion Twitch streams open. I just saw on the Discord. Okay, so we have 4 small sites. 1, 2, 3, 4. So mark it down as good. Now we need gear levers. Gonna quickly search for a layout of a 3-speed manual gearbox. There we go. I copy the base of this. Okay, new collection, call this gearbox 3-speed. There we go. Put that in there. Like call this one gearbox space. Okay. Yeah. I remember about the conversation with him the other day, and he was like, what do you call it? It's like he says there's almost a community steps like for any game I've ever seen. They're probably the best. And I'm like,
It is a virtual before. I guess that's 5 games on top of my head. Pretty good. We'll take it as well. That was, yeah, you can start me. How was it before? Well, like, like, I said a bunch of things. He tried to get a response, and I came back, with my relative response to that. We did that a couple times. It's not like initial Discord, seeing the guy's proof. Probably get you guys about fish. Weird. I don't know, their whole system is just, well, links no sense to me, like, it's like I said before, some unofficial Discord is at least the most unofficial Discord I've ever that makes sense. It feels so unofficial. I'd like to know what actually causes these community problems, like, why do they fire community, you know, like, why is it a big problem to them? I mean, again, why they have so much snippets going on for the devs. Hold on, it says, like, can't get looking at it once. I mean, I really, like, think, Deltaverse sent a meme, and it was basically, it was something about how buggy the game was. I left and I think it was like the meme of the guy sprinkling salt or whatever or something, and I put like bugs and then releases, they sprinkle bugs and releases. And you can really use that. They would say it's good release. I think it was like, that's the theory, you know? Everything response like, bugs, you know?
I don't know about you, but if people had problems with my product, first thing I would be doing is, you know, finding out what problems they have and making sure that they don't have problems, because...
You know, I kind of paid for the game, I have rights. In Canada, it's illegal to, what do you call it? Sell a product that's broken? Yeah. Perfect, I don't think so.
Yeah, they make the game more buggy, more expensive. They put features, they kind of break them, and then they never go back to those features ever again. Like, probably the best example of everything in that game, solar panels. Tell me, when have solar panels, other than when they were first introduced, been ever been useful ever again?
So it's way too much space in things too. Yeah, but I was trying to there was some guys off of MRG, and basically everything back here, boom crash. Alright, it's ready for release. It's finished product. And I think like, oh yeah, you know, this game's finished, we're releasing version 1 of the game ready. I also ran the game, so why are you releasing version 1? Like, you know what version 1 means? Oops, that's the wrong thing I want to copy. Copy
that. Yes, eventually, but they'll be a lot more complex. They won't be plug and play. Because the data coming off of the screens, off the cameras, it won't be like a video code. It will be like actual. I forget what. Because West explained to me how it was gonna work, but basically you'll be able to actually analyze and create code that runs based off of visual data, so you could make sensors if you wanted to.
Well, we'll have analog backups. Well, for sure we're gonna have tutorials and stuff like that, but I'm not sure, like, we might have easier backups and stuff like that. I'm not sure if we're just gonna have those in the first, but for sure we're having some more complex things. For sure we'll have anything like that. No, anything that's right, I mentioned it.
But for sure we'll have like pre-made things and resources. Like even someone who's new to it will be able to set it up. We're gonna have resources for that, don't worry. But the way of setting it up won't change.
Well, I'm 19, I can manuals and everything. Like, I don't serious, I've never been given a manual part to it, so. You know, so maybe I'll that one.
I'll start an OnlyFans. Turas OnlyFans. Please donate to my my cause so I can get myself a nice car. Maybe a house. We'll simp for the player base.
Okay. Boy. Oh yeah, I was like, when I was talking to, what's his name? Okay, one of the things they did stuff, like, they were like, cellular companies, like, people made sci-fi videos. And he's like, yeah, I'm a small team, and I'm like, that's not an excuse. Oh, well, this is not being a team excuse for one game against your players. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty smart excuse. Look at the logo. It's a shirt, logo. Wow. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, because it's a 5-speed gearbox, right? So you have 5 positions plus reverse. And it'll most likely be animated too. I'm not sure about that. I know immersion is going to be a very big thing for this game. but I'm not sure if it will be animated in the first version of the game. But I know immersion is going to be one of the biggest factors for TM as opposed to some other games.
I'm just gonna use the color for the fits. I'll end up adding colors in the future. I'm just gonna take a small 3-minute break, I think. I'll be right back.
Okay, so what did I miss? Let's see. Will we have pilot helmets with oxygen masks that can connect to seats to provide air? Uh, and like actual tint of the helmet. So oxygen will be a thing. Like you will need to pump more air into your vehicle at high altitudes. We'll probably end up providing a mask too to go along with that. As for like tinting, that's kind of easy. That's just like an overlay, so not really that hard.
I'll need some credit over here. Keep it. Whatever. I'm not using the automatic shifter. This is gonna be with simple explanation. Reflection, gearbox, auto, one. There you go. Yes, there you go. Well, I started slightly to the same points. Welcome back. Did you catch my response to your question? Okay, so my response to your question was, just to require more air when you're at high altitude, to breathe, is there now? We also provide a mask to go along with that part of it. And also, I think is pretty easy to images that are shaded over like, assuming that's only kind of stuff. And it's probably why I don't know.
Monitor connected to a visor. You know, maybe. That's a very interesting idea. Not sure how it would work out coding wise, but you know, it's not my job to figure that out. But that would probably be something that would come like way off in the future, when we actually end up putting in the compositing code and stuff like that, because the data coming off of screens and stuff. Excuse me. The stuff coming off of the screens and stuff will be like a subsidiary of the data code, the compositing code. So that stuff would come in when we have that code set in stone. I know West hasn't started that yet. That part of the code, because that's not for this update or this update. Wow, this release, I should say.
Yeah. A lot of people also make time for the stream because of taxes and stuff. So actually, as the stream is actually recording, they'll be uploading this real to YouTube. Those people can still watch the content stream over here. I might have to like do a vote to see what the time for most people leave. Because that's the video. Very well, okay, so let's gearboxes. Gearbox. Input components done. Now it's a push button. I'm thinking. I'm gonna go by my here. I could just do like a survey. That'll be there. But I could just do a survey. Ask people what this time zone. Or what this time zone is a while ago. Push button. And then I'll just do that on multiple times. Push button. Probably the times are going to be probably a second one and a third one. Okay, just like this on here. You know, circle. Side circle. Goes down. Go there. Number. Mark over. Oh, after the music. You can pause it, yes, please. I still need the music.
To be honest, this game may have better 3D. Well, I mean, I'm the one modeling. Uh, so I like to put a little bit more effort into my models than it seems like the Stormworks devs do. So, I mean, that's kind of still up to like opinion, but I'd like to think it would be better. I mean, from the feedback I've received from like the mods I made from Stormworks, people do seem to like my models better anyway, so maybe. But they're their own styles, right? So it's subjective.
Also, so, which blocks? I'm not sure. I'm not voice about that. There's music. Sorry, over. There you go. What's the microphone? I'll open that house. Okay, now it's the switch. You can take it. I'm not sure what the things are really like zero blocks. But I think they're probably in the future. Not super really something. But then again, I'm not sure about that. I think paintable blocks have I have discussed with that too. Also, yes, research. That is one of the things in the list.
Oh yeah, paintable blocks will probably come out as a feature one day. I'm not saying they won't be. I'm just saying they probably won't be a thing right away because we have like more not that it's not important, but like more critical things to focus on first, you know, before we can start focusing on things like that.
Again, that completely depends on because I mentioned this before, but I'm waiting. What's that has spoken to me about the room and what's we're working on first.
But I completely forgot. All I know is that the first version is space functionality, pressure system, all that stuff. And then after that, it's I think multiplayer is like the third update or something like that, or like survival is like the no, survival comes before multiplayer. Multiplayer is the fifth one, I think.
Well, expanding my chat. Yeah, okay. Let me go to the image. I mean, fortunately, the same thing. Probably taking 5 seconds long, so I guess I'll do it right after this one. Okay, just, yeah, that's all the thing else. Yeah, I mean, like, definitely more challenge blocks will be coming. So that's a level, which I'll be pleased to do. So, this is probably not think of.
uh, current uh projected release date is December. It's around right in time for Christmas. So most likely you'll be playing with the first version around that time. Well, I mean, considering that wear and tear and like actual vehicle failure will be a thing in Taurus Mara, don't expect that doing something like that in Taurus Mara would net you the same results. And just for reference, he said in Stormworks parachutes can't break at all, no matter what. That probably, if parachutes become a thing, that probably won't be the case in Taurus Mara at all. So.
Alright. Back over for and move 10 to a generic position. So, Deku, the station's playing with the I see the dead, it's flying both of me. Oh my god, no, stop, I'm talking about. Stop, that's terrible. Yeah, hey, he's amazing, okay? He's amazing. Okay, now, make a new collection. Call this sequence. Yes. Just realized, his voice is also pretty huge. Holy shit. I feel like he's like kind of large now. Hold on, let me get out his picture. I might just, yeah, he's got some big hips. Don't try to be like, okay, I'll easily fix this. Okay, I could just break him over there, there we go. Or else he's gonna make a anyways. That should be his own little screen though. Oh, that's a good song. I'm thinking, how should I make frame? About 15 minutes till the ending stream. Or I finish the seat. There you go. Seat. Okay, well, it's probably good time to end the stream. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in and staying around.